Okay, hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid. We're hopping back into Garden of Good and Evil. I've had some audio quality issues, so I apologize for that. In the last episode, it was voice only. I had cut out all of the game music to try to get the audio for my voice better. The battles were especially painful. It was very loud and hard to even hear me. And it probably was very unpleasant for you as the viewer, probably having to change your mic volume all the time. So, I think I fixed it, but let me know. So, we have a message from Asphodel. I had sent him a message saying that he should join in versus Ryla, not against me. He says, it's not that I don't know he's really strong, but I kind of got tired of the game. I'll still play, but I was pretty sure I would lose to you. So it's for fun, I'd rather die fighting than just sitting still. Which is true. So he did well by defeating Bandarlog, but yeah, he's a very weak nation against Ermor and Ryla, unless he has really strong research and good gym income to make a strong late-game presence. So, one thing, I'm getting Revenants now. I don't think I've mentioned that to you guys. So, I'm starting to put the quills and the lanterns I forged on these guys so that my Sorcerers of Sand can run off and die. They're my most expensive upkeep unit. They're almost twice as much as any other of my upkeep units. So happy when they die. So that's that. We have another Mound Fiend. Let me show you how I'm kitting these guys out. So I'm giving them a Skull Staff, right, which gets them to Death 4 so they can cast Drain Life. I give them a Marble Armor. Marble Armor is really good on undead units. It's going to give... He's ethereal too, so he's going to have 23 protection because they get the protection from the armor, which stacks pretty well with the protection from Stone Skin. And this is a real bargain at 10 gems. Encumbrance isn't great, but anyway, the fact that you get Cold Weakness is good on undead because you have cold resistance. Stick one of these on them so they can cast Rigor Mortis if they need to. We talked about it before. This is one of Lucid's gem items. And then an Amulet of Anti-Magic so that they don't succumb to banishment and things like that. So, anyway, that's this dude. We then have a bunch of battles. I'm going to go through the events. We'll do the battles in real time. I'm not going to click through all of them. This is kind of a funny event. So, this happens a lot when you take Misfortune. My dude got shrunk. So he's now size 5 instead of size 6, which is not good because a lot of times it's good to make him trample. But anyway. Okay. In terms of events, whoops. Mabakiel, the Bringer of Misery has been summoned. I believe he is one of the Death Blood summons, one of the Heliophauses, or however you say that. Anyway, so it's probably Ryla who has it. Not quite sure how we broke into blood, but congratulations. And I think that's it. We'll go talk about some of the battles. So, this... I think there was nobody here. Oh, yeah. So, this is a kind of cool combo. He casts Doom, so all my guys get cursed, and then Rain of Stones, so that everybody that takes damage gets afflictions. So... a lot of my guys are probably afflicted. Well, not these guys as much. Yeah, anyway, got a lot of afflictions from that. He may have one, nope. Anyway, so kind of a cool way to soften up an army, and he's probably got them on retreat. But what you will see is unfortunate is that they're fatigued out. He's at 115 fatigue, he's at 116. So they're recovering pretty quickly, but will they recover quickly enough? They're at 99, so they just recovered fatigue. They'll go this turn, but unfortunately they both die. So, not worth it for him even a little bit. Let's take a look at their results here. Yeah, I lose a bunch of chaff, but I lost these guys. You know, so what? But I didn't lose any of my lictors. I hardly lost any knights. Yeah, I got doomed. Whatever. I've been doomed like 100 times this game, so Anyway, but he lost 2 SC quality units, so that was a good trade for me. Here you can see Nazca's attacking me, which is annoying. Nazca, I think, is just kind of raiding, kind of like fake attacking. He does have this King of Earth Elementals, which Awe, Firebrand, Ethereal. This is for trampling and flying, and some other items. So anyway, he's really strong. Anyway, they eat up that. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to send... I had forged an Axe of Hate. So I put that on this golem. If I can get some hits off, it will paralyze him with fatigue. Especially given that I have quickness. I do kind of have to hit him and my attack skill sucks. But we'll see. Anyway, my goal is to teleport him on top of here and hopefully kill the King of the Mountains. One of the things is I was really late in all my research, so I don't really have many of the elemental royalty. So if I kill him, I can spend a bunch of earth gems and take him, which I'd like to do. We're also forging a winged helmet to get me up to Air 5, which will be very useful indeed. We had some battles here, so we had a big battle here. So let's look. This is what I was talking about at the end of last episode. So these are 2 forces fighting. He was sieging my capital. I mean, not my capital, my one of my forts. And I didn't think he would break through in one turn, but he did. And I think it's because of how many mammoths he has. Anyway, so there's about to be a big battle. One of the things you'll notice, so he's put up Ravenous Swarm, which is a bit silly, because he is undead too, so Ravenous Swarm will hit him as much as it hits me. He's got some decent people spamming Wither Bones, which is nice. Especially these Carrion Lords, who, if they can spam it... Where are they? Yeah, because they have regeneration, so they don't really have to worry about my Blood Bless. They can spam it pretty much with impunity since they have a lot of HP and regeneration. One of the things you'll notice though is I don't believe he has Mass Protection up, which if you're playing Asphodel, there's no excuse not to have Mass Protection up every single battle. So that's unfortunate for him. You can see also his elephants are getting picked off. You really need your elephants all massed up together. Not only do they have Fear Aura, which stacks, not really useful against undead, but you can see the ones that ran in, they got picked off because they didn't have any allies near them, so they got attacked from 6 sides. So really you want to have them grouped up, that way, like if he grouped them up down here, right, then they wouldn't die like that. And he could have a whole mass of them just come through and run them right on my line, killing a bunch of dudes. Also, you'll notice they don't have regeneration, which everybody on his side should have regeneration. He needs a Holy 4 Priest. There's several ways to get that. You know, just Crystal Matrices are one of the ways. So there's no reason he shouldn't be having Holy 4 to give all of his guys regeneration. Looks like they're also on attack rear, which you generally don't want for your tramplers. You want them on attack closest, that way they don't get all surrounded. Anyway, we'll fast forward. You can see my army's breaking through, I'm skipping through turns, and then we run to the back and we kill his Carrion Lord. So he got absolutely crushed. I will show you, I was storming his fort with a bunch of chaff, and I was hoping this would work. They don't really have many troops, but you can see they're able to summon some undead. And then they've got the banishment spam going. And they've got some Ethereal Lions which are going to charge in. Not really things I want to see, but I had a ton of troops. I think I had like 500 troops coming in. There's a lot of banishment. So this kind of shows what happens if you play Ermor without a heavy bless. These troops are good in fighting, but the second they bring out a lot of mage support, you just don't have any answers, right? Like, look at this. They just get absolutely mopped up. And your Sacreds aren't much better without a really heavy bless. So, yeah. You can see, we'll look at the battle there. What's the fort? Shire. That's not it. Shire. Yeah, so here's the final report. I lost 400 dudes. Didn't lose my commanders. He lost 40 chaff, right? Really nothing. But he did have a lot of mages. I'll pull it up again. He's got probably about 20, 30, no, like over 30 mages, 35. So he does have a lot of mages there. But, yeah. So that's that. Bringing more troops in here. While I've taken this, I just killed the PD. Not terribly close to cracking it. They're going to die, right? Oh, I'll show you this. We had a battle here. This just shows how much better my undead are than asphodel. So, you know, kind of how I said my troops sucked at raiding his base because they just die versus mage support. One thing they're good at is they're good at melee fighting. His troops, yeah, they're way worse than mine. So you can see he has a lot. He has actually significantly more troops than me, but they're just dying in droves. Neither of us really have any mage support. He's got one dude in the back. But, yeah, they're getting absolutely butchered. And the thing is, from Asphodel, he doesn't really have good sacreds. I mean, he has recruitable ones. But those kind of run out of steam towards the end of the game. So, I haven't had a ton of luck playing Asphodel, but you have to find a way to transition out of these crappy units into something useful. Which is tough to do since you don't really get any income. So, what we're doing here is we're going to retreat this guy back. We're going to be moving an army in here, because I said I'm teleporting a golem on top of this King of the Mountain. I'm going to be moving an army in case they move one of these armies in to attack. I don't want my golem stuck there alone. He would die to heavy mage support. So, anyway, we're moving an army in to kind of help them. And that's basically it. Let's go ahead and see the next turn. So that was turn 90, so we are now at turn 91. So first thing, we cast a few archbishops, then there's a dire portent. Let's see what that is. Arcane Nexus. So this is one of the game-winning spells. You have to be Astral 9 to cast it. It costs 150 pearls, which is ridiculous. But half of all the magic gems used to cast any spell or create any item will be absorbed into the Nexus and collected by the owner of the enchantment. So, my Well of Misery seems awesome, right? Because I get a bunch of death gems. Well, guess who's going to get half of all those death gems I spend? That would be Ryla, to make Tartarians. Mother Oak. Oh, you get 10 nature gems. Where do those go? Half of them go to Ryla. Oh, you want to overcast the spell that he has, right? Where do you think those gems are going to go? They're going to go to Ryla. So, yeah. Plus all my I have really high gem income. So, yeah, that's all going to Ryla, too. So that's the dire portent. In terms of events, then I'll go do all the combat stuff. That's it for the events. So first, let's look at the golem. Our golem jumped in here with a teleport, trying to kill this Earth King. And you can see Sapayas jump in. They have these spectral spears, which only do damage if they get through magic resistance. My dude has 25 magic resistance, and I think it's going to go even higher. I think he hasn't cast resist magic yet. Yeah, there he goes. Now it's 29. They just have no way of damaging him. And then this charcoal shield, they just dissolve. And then, unfortunately, his dude routs before I can kill him. But then he jumps in more, so it looks like he moved this fine lady in. I don't know why she came alone. I mean, even if the Earth King was there, there wouldn't be much behind her. And she would have to really survive the battle, so I'm not sure the plan here. Right, so she does Storm, which is going to put her high fatigue, probably like 50, yeah, 66. Then she casts Wrathful Skies, which puts her over 100. Right, and she doesn't even have Reinvigoration. And she's kind of towards the front of the battle. So yeah, she just dies. I don't think that would have even worked if I didn't teleport in magic phase. He does bring a big group of dudes in here. but this isn't really all that scary. He does have Disintegrate up, which that'll hurt. So I'm not going to defend this. What I'm going to do instead is, I'm thinking maybe he's going to try to take my throne. Sepayas are good for taking thrones. Flying units have a bonus to siege. So, definitely going to move here and kind of protect myself. So I got a big army, big army moving in here to my throne province. Here's the money people. Here, I just have a few residual troops. I've got a ton of ghouls, so he can't really do much if he attacks. The other important thing is that he attacked with this army on top of Lithia, right? So this is a pretty big army. And he drops Fog Warriors, a bunch of stuff. So I did bait out probably about 10 or 15 gems. Because he's going to have Regeneration up. Fog Warriors, yeah. Bunch of nasty stuff. So, that is that. Then what else? He dropped another army here on top of these guys. And that's another pretty sizable army, about 30 Star Children. It does not look like he's going to be doing Fog Warriors, though. Yeah, my guys are just going to dissolve. Oh, the good thing, though, is I put Rigor Mortis up. I had a dude in the back. So, actually, we'll watch this. If I had a few more dudes, I think I actually would have won. If I had, like, one more stack. So now, he's about done with all his spell casting. And it's just time for fighting, and he didn't buff up his troops, so they kind of are going to die in combat. A lot of them will, anyway. So he's going to kill all these guys in the front, and then he's going to run to the back. Now, as he runs to the back, his mages are all totally fatigued up now. So all I had to do, really, was repel these guys, and then I would have won. Unfortunately, I didn't. They died. But whatever. He's sieging this. He's not going to do any damage. I got 250 defense yet. Here, meanwhile, I only got 41 defense left. So that's unfortunate. What I am going to do is I'm going to break it. So I'm sending in a whole host of dudes. I'm sending in this dude to drop Heat from Hell. I've got these two guys in case I get jebaited with a super combatant. They will be towards the front, ready to attack. My lady in here is going to pop out with some foul vapors and howl. And then these two guys are also going to poke their head out. So, plus I'm moving in some more chaff from this province. So I'm kind of falling back over here. I'm going to be taking a few key battles when they overextend like this. And hoping that I win. Meanwhile, I'm going to kind of just let him sit on this fort here. I don't think I mentioned it. I'm building a fortress here. That should be up in a turn or two. I used some of that money I got from Transmute Fire to put some key temples up. Like this didn't have a temple, I put one up there. I finally put one up here. Still haven't put a temple up over here, but that's okay. Actually, that's still not even Dominion Strength 10. So, you can see I moved here. These guys back, they're going to storm the castle with my sacred units, and we will watch those 30 mages die, as they will. Here, though, we're going to be sending another kind of elite task force of these dudes, and hopefully they can run through and kill them. We're also going to be attacking the Sea Province again with more units, and I will have them more resistant to banishment. I'm going to put them on sparse line formation, which is something I do sometimes when I'm expecting heavy banishment. So yeah, they're going to go in here. Meanwhile, we're going to press our luck that these guys are going to continue expanding outwards. These guys are going to expand outwards. These guys are going to go attack here. So yeah. And oh, I don't think I watched this. So there was also a battle here. Ryla attacked me with the super combatant. She's just going to be nasty. Mist form, body ethereal, astral shield, iron face helmet, monolith armor. She's going to be hard to kill. She's got this on, which is going to make her berserk. So she's not going to rout. Which means she will stay on the battle longer than I will. So here we go. We are running in. And you can see we're really not able to hit her. She regenerates 200 and, or what, 20-something HP? 28 HP. Occasionally I'll get a hit off like that where I do more damage and she regenerates, but the next turn I don't. Yeah, sad panda here. She doesn't really have a lot of damage outlay, she's just hitting me with the Flesh Eater every once in a while. So, this continues, she gradually kills off some dudes, but not really. I wish these guys, I think they're in range, I wish they would cast Unholy Command. They would eventually get her, with 10 of them. Anyway, this continues for a long time. I'm skipping forward dozens of turns. And still going. Eventually I'm going to rout, which is unfortunate. Okay, so Ryla routed. But routing doesn't do anything when you've gone Berserk. So because this Flesh Eater makes you go Berserk... There we go. Gone Berserk 3. Not going to do anything. So he's going to keep attacking. Meanwhile, I just routed, which is unfortunate. See, this dude here is hobbling back. He's the last of my non-mindless units. And he's crippled. So he only has 2 AP, so he can barely get off the battlefield. And this proves to be extremely fortuitous. So she runs down chasing him in a berserked rage. And he hobbles off the battlefield. Oh, and you didn't see it at the end. The timer ran out on that battle. So what ended up happening is she died. And the reason she died is because after a certain number of rounds, all armies retreat. And then after some number of rounds after that, I think it's about 10, if you're still on the battlefield, if you haven't retreated, you're dead. So when we look at the battle here, Bandar log, we can see that this nasty lady actually died. Meanwhile, I lost, 200 chaff, so what? And I didn't lose hardly any lictors. I only lost 5 lictors. So that was actually a win. I had more troops that were moving on here, so those troops did indeed move there. And they're now sieging the fort again. And I'm going to be moving a bunch more troops back. I'm going to be moving all of my sacreds back on to crack the fort when I can. Moving a small force in here. Take this from Ryla. Moving a force here. Moving a force here. We're going to be having another undead battle as I attack this province. So, that is about it for this turn. Thanks everyone for watching, and I will catch you next time.